people, welcome back to this channel. How are you doing? I hope you are great. I'm so excited to reach you here on this channel today. Thank you for stopping by here on my channel. Thank you for everything you have done here on this channel. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your likes, your sharing, everything you have done. You guys are too much here on this channel. Without you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you so much. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you two ways of drafting corset pattern. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and then turn on the notification bell to get you an update anytime I upload my videos. Okay guys, I'll be drawing my marginal line. So I'm using my ruler and marker to do this. And then the back measurement I'll be working with for today's tutorial is 15 inches. So I'm placing the half of the back measurement, which is 7.5. So this is what I'm doing here. And then I'm marking the armhole line. Then my bust point, which is 10 inches. I have my armhole line 8 inches. The underbust is 13.5. And the waistline is 16 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect this dot with my ruler. So I'm connecting it. So having done this, I have 4 inches for my nipple to nipple. Okay, so I have 8 inches divided into 2 is going to give me 4 inches, and this is what I will be placing on the waistline. So this is my waistline, my underbust, and the bust point, and this is my upper chest. Okay, so I'll be placing this 4 inches this way on the waistline, my underbust, and the bust point. And then I'm going to use my ruler to connect the dots together. So having done this, I want to determine the depth of my neck. So I chose 8 inches. So on this point of 8 inches, I will be marking 0.5. On the bust point, I will be marking 0.5 from that point to the waistline. So this is what I'm marking here, and I'm going to link this dot up. 0.5 I marked, so I'm going to connect it together this way. So this 0.5 I marked is a distance between the two cups. Okay, so it's a distance between the two cups. Okay, so guys, I'll be taking one inch from this side, 1 inch from this side, and 1 inch from the other side, and then I'm going to nick this to the, I'm nicking it up to the underbust. So this is what I'm marking here. So I'm doing the other one, 1 inch, and then to connect this 1 inch to the bust point, I'm going to use my cuff ruler to do this. So to create the cuff shape for the cup, the corset you are making. So this is what I'm doing here. I hope you saw this. Okay. So to create the cup, this is what I'm going to do. You are going to place your tape measure and measure the distance between the bust point to the underbust. So this is what I'm doing here. So here I have 3.5, as you can see. So here's my 3.5. So this is what I'll be working on. I'll be working on this 3.5 to create the cup for both sides. So from that bust point, I'm going to place my tape measure and mark 3.5. I hope you saw this. 3.5. And to the other side, I'll be marking 4 inches. I took 3.5 from here. The other side, we have bigger busts. So from there, so I'll be marking 4 inches instead of 3.5. I marked from the center front. So to the sides, I'll be marking 4 inches because we have a bigger bust at the sides. So I marked 4 inches, and then I'm going to nick this dot up to the bust point. So this is what I will be doing right here. So I'm marking the dot to the bust point, and then I will use my ruler to do the other side to mark it this way. Wow, our cap is already coming out. It's coming out. So this is it. So the 3.5 I measured from the two sides. I want to extend it to this part. So this is what I'm marking, and then I will nick it to I'm nicking the former line to the dot I made, like so. So I will be taking 1 inch from here, and you could take more than that. Could take 1.5 or 2 inches depending on how you want it. So I want to take 1 inch for that from that point, and 0.5. So I'm taking this dart to create more room for the bust at that side, to grip the bust, okay, so that I don't have any bulge or any bulge around that side. And then I'm going to connect this 0.5 to the bust point, and 1 inch to the bust point as well. And then I'm going to check this. I'm confirming, maybe, so this is 4 inches and the other one is not even up to 4 inches. Then I'm going to extend it. So I've marked it. So we have the same measurement for both that line. Okay, so guys, I'll be connecting from that point 0.5 I took to the other side of our cup, like so. And then to the other side, I'm going to mark 4 inches. We used 4 inches at this point, so this is at 4 inches. Then I'm going to nick this 1 inch to this 4 inches I marked to cover, to create the cup this way. So I'm using my cuff roller to gently do this. So this is a cup. This is a cup. So I'll go ahead and write 4 inches to the one I used 4 inches to, and then 3.5 to the other one, so that I don't mix them together whenever I want to join them. So these 4 inches I wrote there, and 3.5 is going to guide me, and you can name it anything you want. Okay, so the bust measurement you are working with on today's tutorial is 37 inches divided into 4 is going to give me 9 1/4 plus 1.5 that I took, and then I'm adding 2 inches for joining allowance. So under bust we have 31 inches for the under bust, so I'm placing the quarter of 31 inches, and then I'm going to add 2 inches for that allowance and 2 inches for joining allowance. Waist measurement is 32 divided by 4 gives me 8 inches plus 2 inches that I took, then 2 inches for joining allowance. Okay, so I'm going to connect the dots I made together. So this is what I have, and then I'm going to cut it after cutting my hammer. Okay, so I'm going to cut it right here. So I'm cutting it right here. So I want to cut the hammer. I'm cutting the hammer, and then to the waist line. Okay, so guys, this is what I have for the cup I cut. So I have A for 4 inches and B for 3.5, and then I will, when I want to cut this on my fabric, I will add 0.5 at that point on the central front, 0.5 for joining of the cup at that side, and this side too I'm going to add 0.5, and to the cup I cut I'm going to add my joining allowance round the cup, round the 4. So this is what I want to do. Let's move to another method. Okay guys, so this is a corset pattern with yoke we want to start making right here. So I want to mark the bust point 10 inches, on the bust 13.5, and then half length 16 inches. So this is what I'm marking here, and then I'm going to use my ruler to extend the marking. So we have 15 inches for the back measurement, and I'm placing the half of this 15 inches, which is 7.5. Here I want to choose 7.5 for the hammer line, and then I'm going to link these dots up like so, and then I'm going to determine the length or the depth of the yoke we want to make. I'm measuring it. So I'm cuffing the hammer. So in taking out this yoke, I'm going to determine how deep I want this yoke to be. So I'll be using 7.5. So if you want to refill more of your cleavage, you can use 9 inches or 8.5. But 7.5 is good for what I want to do today, okay? Because I don't want to refill my cleavage. And then from this 7.5, I'll be marking 0.5 to the waistline, like we did to the first one we drafted. So I marked 0.5 to the waistline, and then I knit the dots together. So I'm placing the bust band measurement from the waistline to the bust line. This is my bust point, my upper chest. I forgot to write it like the other one. So, and the waistline, okay? So I'm going to link this dot up this way. And then I'm going to be taking one inch from the both sides, and then I will link it up from the waistline to the under bust to create the darts. So on that point, I'm going to place my cuff ruler to cuff this part. So this is what I'm doing here. I want to cuff it. I don't just want it to come out straight. So this is what I'm doing here, okay? So I'm gonna do the sizing before I cut the yoke. So the bust measurement is 9.25. And then I will be adding 2 inches for joining allowance. So what I have from the bust point, I will extend it to from the upper chest, I'm going to extend it to the bust point. So I'm going to place the cutter of the under bust, and then 2 inches I took for that, I'm adding it in joining allowance. Waist is 8 inches, quarter of waist is 8 inches plus 2 inches for that, and 2 inches for allowance. Okay, so I'm going to connect this together to the waistline. So this is what I have. So to create the yoke, so I'm just going to cut from that hammer. We are going to link it up to this dot, to the 7.5 I marked for the depth of my neck. So if you want sweetheart shape, this is how it's going to come out. This is what we are going to draw like this. So this shape is going to come out as sweetheart leg, but I want straight shape. So this is what I want. I hope you saw this. So you can choose either of the two, either straight one or curved one. So if you are going with curved one, that shows you are having sweetheart shape. If you are going with straight, it's good. So I'm good to cut. I'm cutting the yoke. I'm cutting the armhole. So I'm through with cutting of the armhole, of the yoke. So this is what we have, and I'm going to set this yoke aside. So we are still going to work on it later. So I'm cutting the waistline. So I'm through with cutting. So this is what we have. So in creating the cup, we are just going to know the distance between the bust point to the under bust here. And this is what I'm measuring here. Okay. So guys, I'm going to cut this shape. So this is another method. I'm going to cut it into two. Cutting the dots I made. Okay. So I'm through it cutting. So what next for me to do is to just make use of the measurement from the bust point to the under bust to create the cup. So whatever you are having for the measurement from the bust point to the under bust is what you are going to use to create the cup. Okay. So here we are using 3 inches, and this is 3 inches. So I'm going to mark this 3 inches from the bust point. So to the other side, I'll be using 3.5. Like you know that we have fuller bust to the armhole side. So that's why I'm adding 0.5. So I will just dot it down like so. I'm dotting it down. And I'm going to dot this one as well. Okay guys, so this is what I have. So the shape of a cup is out. So I want to use my curve ruler to blend this dot so that you can see clearly. So this is it. This is a cup. So I will go ahead and label number 1 and number 2 so that I don't get confused whenever I want to put them together on my machine. Okay. So guys, this is what I have for the second pattern of the corset we are making. I hope you like this. It's very simple to make. If you follow this method, this is very simple to make. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and then like this video, share with your family and friends. So I will go ahead and cut this on my fabric, and then I'm going to add 0.5 to the cup and to the center front and center side. Okay, so this is what I will be doing right here. Okay, so before I cut the fabric, this is a yoke. So let us complete the work on this yoke. We have 7.5 for the back measurement, the half of the back measurement, and we drew a armhole. The length of the yoke is 7.5. So on this pattern paper, I'm going to mark the wideness. You can choose your wideness. So this is my shoulder slope. So I took 3.5 for the wideness and 0.5 for the slope. Then I'm connecting them together. Okay. And then I want to choose 4 inches for the depth of the neck. And you can choose any measurements you want or any shape. Okay, so I'm going to square this 4 inches. I'm making it up to the shoulder line. Okay, then I'm going to place the curve ruler to curve it because I want a round shape. You can choose any shape you want. So this is the front yoke, and then from the to the bust measurement, I'm going to add just 1 or 2 inches to that side. So I'm going to cut and the shoulder slanting. So guys, this is our yoke. So we are going to place this on the lace material we want to use for the yoke and cut both back yoke and front yoke. Okay, so this is what I'm doing here. Okay, so guys, this is our back panel. So I'm taking 1 inch for zipper allowance. 1 inch for zipper allowance. So I'm going to connect with my ruler. So I have 7.5 for the yoke, if you can still remember. So I'm placing this 7.5 on the drafting paper, and then to measure the remaining points out. So I have 10 inches for the bust point. So here we are not using underbust, so there's no need of measuring 13.5. So my waistline still 16 inches. So I'm going to connect the two dots I made with my ruler. So this is what I'm marking here. So this is my waist and this is my bust point. And then I'm placing the darts. So here is my zipper allowance. So I'm placing the darts from the zipper line. So make sure you do not exceed that line. Okay, you know this is the back panel, and then I'm going to link these dots for that up. So I'll be taking 0.5 from the both side. You know this is back panel, so this is back dot. 0.5 from the both side to create the dots. So having done this, I'll be placing my tape measure to get the bust points, the bust measurement. I'm measuring the bust measurement 9.25 and 2 inches for joining allowance, and I will extend it to the what I have from that side to the bust line. So waist measured 32 inches divided by 4 gives me 8 inches plus 1 inch that I took, and then 2 inches for joining allowance. So I'll go ahead and connect the dots together. So having done this, I'm good to cut. So I will go ahead and start cutting. So I'm cutting the back So I want to cut the dots. Okay, so I'm done with cutting. I want to cut the zipper allowance. Okay. So this is what we have for the back. And this is our yoke. So you are going to place it this way. You are placing your yoke like this. Okay. So this is how our back looks like. So far so good, we have come to the end of today's tutorial here on this channel, and thank you for being there, guys. And by now I believe you should be able to know how to draft or cut a corset with yoke and the one that has no yoke. Okay, so this is what we did today. Please like this video, share with your family and friends, and then tell them to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to get you an update as I will be uploading my videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.